Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived a beautiful woman, 40 years old Toke. She was married to James, and together they both had two children, Adam, 20 years old, and Ada, 18 years old. James was a very hardworking man who did his best to provide for his family, but Toke was never satisfied. She constantly pressured him to do more, comparing him to her friend husband Kemi, whom she believed was far more generous and successful than James, because Kemi's husband worked in a very big and respected company in the town. Unknown to her, Kemi was deceitful, fabricating stories about the gifts she received. Whenever she buy new things for herself, like wig or bag, she would rush to Toke's house, proudly claiming her husband had gifted them these things. You see, my friend, my husband is a very lovely man. I am so happy to call him mine. He does not always only buy me these things, he also changes our son's wardrobe every month, she will say. You are so lucky, Toke will say, shaking her head in pity. My own husband only drop food money. He is so greedy. I can't even remember the last time he even bought me underwear. By this time, Toke almost shedding tears of self-pity. But whenever Kemi left Toke's house to her own house, alone in her sitting room, she would laugh at to herself and murmuring words. At least your husband provides you food. I am the one feeding my own. You are a fool, Toke. Appreciate what you have before you lose me. My own husband never drop money for food. Whenever I ask him for money, he will say they have a project in the office. The project has never been completed and will never be completed. She will say to herself, listen. Toke, however, took this word to her heart differently. Whenever James returned from work, exhausted from his daily struggle, she would lash out at him. Useless man, look at your mate. They are taking care of their wife and buying them things. You are here dropping peanuts for us to feed. Let me tell you, tonight there is no food for anyone in this house. We are all going to bed empty. This word gets to James, hurting him so much. Soon he starts saving up little money to at least buy her things. Whenever he buys her things, she will still sneer. This is so cheap. How do you expect me to carry this cheap bag? What will my friends say? She will sniff the things, tossing it to one side. Forgetting when he was doing well, he used to take her shopping. She will pick whatever she wants, and even the things she has not even wear. All are still in her closet. James was once a successful wholesale rice seller in the town. But after his shop got burnt in fire, life became difficult. He tried to explain to Toke, but she refused to understand and listen. James has some money that he is still paying, but he decided to keep it to himself. He never wanted to use this to disturb his family. With his spirit got crushed, one day he devised a plan and disappeared, leaving behind his family. All he cared about was his children, but there was nothing he could do. He just had to go far so he can find peace of mind. At first, Toke believed he would return after a day or two. When he did not, she and Kemi reported him missing at the police station on that beautiful Saturday morning. Good afternoon, sir. I am here to report a case of a missing person. The policeman took their statement and asked them to go home. "We will let you know if anything comes up," he said. Days turned into weeks turned into months, and eventually a whole year has passed. There was no sign of him. He had moved to a distant town, starting afresh, away from her constantly pressure and nagging. All he thinks every night was his children, Ada and Adam. But there was nothing he could do. Here he has found peace of mind. During this time, Kemi secretly rejoiced. She had been jealous of how well James once took care of Toke years ago. She had deliberately planted seed of that in Toke's heart, convincing her that he was unfaithful. Whenever James returned, Toke would lash out at him. "You are start seeing other women. You are spending your money outside," she would say, shouting at the top of her voice. With James gone, Toke sniffed her frustration onto her children. Adam has just finished school and was struggling to find a job, while Ada was still in university. One evening, as Adam was eating, Toke glared at him. "It's only food you know how to eat. Look at your mates. They are driving big cars and giving their mother good money. Yet you are here, eating, wasting my food. Useless boy, go and make money like your mate. You are man enough now to take care of this house, as your useless father has run away with a prostitute she is." Frustrated and feeling unwanted, Adam left the house, moved to the city to live with his friends. His childhood friend Emeka welcomed him in. However, Emeka and his friend had no job. Emeka and his friend were into fraud, yahoo. At first, Adam resisted, but desperation soon took over him. With no job perspective and a growing sense of shame, he began to learn their ways, hoping to earn money fast so that he could go and settle his mother. Meanwhile, Ada struggled to survive in school. Without any financial help or support, she started going out with wealthy men. She would sometimes send money to her mother, whom was blinded by greed. She never asked questions where the money was coming from. Instead, she would shower Ada with praises on phone. "Ada, my princess. Ada, my sunshine. The light in my path. I know you will change my life someday. Ada yo," she would say, singing her praise. This will make Ada's heart very happy. Deep down in her heart, she knows the way the money was coming was not good. But the mother will never listen. She is never interested in wherever the money is coming from. All she cares about is give me the money. I am interested in the money. Time passed, but nothing did not change. Adam struggled for a while. While his friends flourished in their activities, he remained broke. One day, Emeka introduced him to a very powerful spiritualist, a Baba, who could help. When they got there, the Baba welcomed them. "I know why you are here, son," the Baba said, smiling knowingly. "You want to be rich like your friend." Yes, sir, Adam replied eagerly. The Baba nodded. "It is simple. You must bring me a young lady for sacrifice. Do this within 5 days and your wealth will flow," the Baba said. Adam hesitated, but desperate to succeed, greed, Emeka arranged for some boys to lure a girl to them. But fate took a cruel turn on them. The girl they kidnapped was no other than his sister, Ada. She had been standing by the roadside when strangers approached her with promise of money. She would follow them home, trusting them, only to meet a tragedy end that day. As the guys they paid were bringing her body to them, they got intercepted by the police. Under interrogation, they revealed everything to the police. That night, the police raided their house, arresting everybody including Adam and his friend. When he was taken to see the body of the young lady the guys have killed, his heart was shattered. He shouted, "No! Not my sister! Not my Ada!" He screamed, crying out loud. The weight of his action crushed him. The news soon reached Toke. Overcome with grief and guilt, she collapsed and died instantly. As for Kemi, fate was not kind to her at all. Shortly after, she lost both her husband and her only son in a tragic accident. She sat alone in her house, weeping bitterly. "If I have killed my friend, I destroyed her family, and karma has just visited me also," she said to herself with tears in her eyes. The town was filled with sorrow. As the news spread, people whispered about Toke's downfall, about her greed and blindness. They mourned Ada, an innocent girl who lost her life to darkness of desperation. They also pity Adam, a boy whom in his quest to be successful has destroyed his own family. James now lived in a quiet town, in a different place, heard about the tragedy through an old friend. "Take heart, my son. Greed took over your wife. She has destroyed her home and also lost her life." James continued to weep bitterly, but did not return home instantly. He had rebuilt his life far away, where he had found peace, and this time no going back. But he usually visits Adam in the prison, since he is the only member of his family remaining. The moral of the story is, we should learn to appreciate what we have. As we can see in Toke's case, she failed to appreciate her husband's efforts and drove him away with constant comparison and greed. We should always be aware of deceitful friends. Kemi pretended to be a friend, but she was a snake in disguise, sowing discomfort in her home. We should also be mindful of greed and impatience. Parents should not pressure their children. Instead of guiding our children, Toke unrealistic expectations push them into dangerous paths. We should also remember the consequences of wrong choice are unforgiving. The pursuit of material wealth without integrity leads to desperation and destruction. We should also be mindful of the kind of friends we have. Whenever our friends come around, we should never compare ourselves to our friends. The town never forget the tragedy of Toke's family, and her story become a warning tale to many others who fail to appreciate their blessing. Thank you for being here today. To my returning subscriber, God bless you. I really appreciate you. Thank you. See you on my next one. Bye.